Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a middle of the month tarot oracle reading for the middle of May. And Capricorn, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Capricorn, we all have a little bit of Capricorn in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Capricorn in, that will give you further clarity as to your where this information would show up for you. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that might give you further clarity as to your situation now. Just going to double check that I have. Good, yeah, I'm getting better. I'm doing this new spread so I can feature my paintings from Tales from the Vector for the horoscope signs. And so I just double checking. I'm getting better now. We're creatures of habit, so by the time I've done all 12 signs, I figure I'll be more familiar where to put the cards to make sure that you can see them at the end. Are you coming up here, Stella? Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands as the underlying energy. It's from the bottom of the deck, and it is for the entire reading. And this is saying that you are being given a gift, a reward from the universe and God for a passion for new discovery. So this is about having motivation again and having passion for what you're doing in life, waking up in the morning and going, yahoo! And then we have this energy, the Fool. And so the Fool is representing a new cycle beginning. And this energy has been coming in. It just came in for the Sagittarius energy as well. I just want to be, I don't want to forget, I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day if they're to the mums out there. And I slept in, so I'm way behind schedule. I decided I'm a mother, I'm gonna just chill out today a little bit. So this is, so I hope you're all having a wonderful day, or if you're watching this in the future, had a wonderful Mother's Day. Lots of love to you. So the 0 point is the Fool starting out on a new cycle, a new journey. You can see that he has tattered sleeves. So this is saying it's not like he's never been on a cycle before. It's saying that this is a new one. And he's been, he's going to take what he learned from the last cycle and the ones previous into this cycle so that he can be a better version of himself. And then we have the Lovers. So if you're looking for some love coming in, this is how your self-identity is coming up, your self-image. You may consider yourself a great lover. Could be that kind of energy. This usually means like this is the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, and we have the Sun here. This is representing God's energy and this angel. So this is a relationship that's being ordained by God, and it's saying that this would be a divine couple that you would really empower each other. And the cloud between can represent that maybe you have never met this person before, or you've never been in an intimate relationship with them before. This is talking about getting to know each other. Someone maybe brand new coming in, or someone that you have from your past that you haven't had a relationship with before, but you are haven't maybe seen for years. Sometimes this energy can go way back. And then we have, there's been some disappointment in love. So maybe you ended a cycle with someone in a relationship, and now you've healed up and you're ready to have passion in your life again. This energy is talking about, the Four of Cups is talking about disappointment. This person is sitting under the tree, clearly disappointed. The universe is trying to hand him another cup. Now, sometimes cups in tarot, they usually quite often represent romantic love, especially with this Lover's card here, but this can also be love of anyone or anything. This can also be love of something you love to do or be. So, this could be maybe you've had 3 relationships and they haven't worked out in love. And the universe is saying, oh, come on, you don't want to give up on love. And you're like, yes, I do. I don't want to be vulnerable anymore. I'm done. I'm done with love. And that's kind of silly because, you know, love is a big, important part of all of our lives. It's you know, you don't want to let past disappointment stop you from loving again. You might just need a little more time to heal. And then this also can represent maybe one person that you've given 3 chances to, whether that be in romantic love or someone in your family or a friend, maybe a business partner, that type of energy, and you've given them 3 chances and they're asking for a 4th, and you're like, no, thank you. I've had enough. I'm moving on to someone new, something new, that type of energy. And then this sometimes also, if this is a romantic situation, quite often this can represent a third party energy that, you know, there was a couple and unfortunately the third party energy has, you know, caused a problem. And sometimes this can even represent that someone got pregnant, because there's this 4th cup, which is the gift of a beautiful baby. But if it's not yours and you were in a relationship, it's not the gift for you. And then this is talking, so this is how your self-image, this is your abundance. So you're feeling a little bit disappointed in that department right now. So that's something that we'll see if we can look into a little bit more in this reading. The High Priestess energy is saying you really need to use your intuition at this time. We do have a new moon coming up, and that is on May 16th, and it's May 10th right now. It's Mother's Day. Yes, May 10th. So about a week from now. This new moon that's coming in is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is the youngest of the 3 earth signs. So the pentacle energy represents the earth sign. And so the Taurus moon, Taurus energy is kind of that, it's only the 2nd sign in the zodiac. So it's kind of like the toddler energy. And it's talking about, you know, learning to give and take. You know, toddlers are very lovable and, you know, but they can be very stubborn as well. Some people, we like to say determined. But the energy is, you know, learning how to give and take. And if you ask a toddler to share and they don't want to, they can be like a bull in a china shop and just like, you know, throw a fit, you know, have a temper tantrum. And so the energy about that, it's good to know about this Taurus moon energy is it's really putting an emphasis on this Taurus energy. Taurus really, really, they want to feel secure. They want to feel like, you know, it's about their material possessions, and that they're safe, that their bank account is going to cover, you know, their financial obligations, that their partner is safe, that they're safe, like in that type of, in their home. They like to have a beautiful home, and they like things to be in order. So when it's not, Taurus gets hit really hard with that energy. They don't like their finances and home life being in disorder. And then the Scorpio energy is directly across the horoscope wheel from the Taurus sign, and whatever sign is opposing on your on the wheel is going to also be feeling that energy quite a bit. And the Scorpio energy is more like, hey, let's take things apart and then let's put them back together and see if we can make it better. And the Taurus is like, no. So it's that type of energy. So that there could be an emphasis on that, but really there's not any other major you know, astrological influences. We've had enough coming in as it is, so we're all still adjusting to the many the astrological influences that I've covered in the past. Like if you want to know more about that type of energy, go back to the beginning of this month and the end of last month in April, because there was a lot going on. But now it's kind of settling down, and this new moon will be more about like that type of energy. Other than that, Pluto is in is going retrograde, or it did on the 6th of May. and it went into the sign of Aquarius. And this energy just makes people feel like their problems sometimes are bigger than they really are. So just be aware of that energy. But it's not, there's not anything really pressing astrologically at this time. So the High Priestess energy is talking about using your intuition at the new moon, and generally we'll feel that energy in the next 3 days or so, and then 3 days after. And the High Priestess is sitting, has a joyful presence, because she's sitting between, by God's throne, and she is highly intuitive. She's in between two extremes here, and all of this in the background here represents all this information coming in, and it's a lot. And so she, because there's two opposing forces contributing to the information. Information does equal energy. It's really infinite potential. But you have to be able to sort through it and know what you want to take or what you want to keep. So you have to get neutral to the extremes and then sitting in between them, so that you're not going to make emotional choices that you regret later, or impulsive choices that you regret later. And she's sitting in between two very extreme choices, because this pillar represents Jesus and this one represents the devil. And this is talking about your early communication. So basically this is saying, most people, by the time they're in kindergarten, they understand the difference between good and bad, and right and wrong and all of that. So it's talking about that type of energy. The Hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. He is hanging upside down because he wants to gain a new perspective on something that he's been, thinking about. And he's hanging upside down, and what better way? I mean, that's totally opposite from, being upright. And he's looking at it from every angle. And when the aura around his head becomes golden like this, it's saying, oh, okay, it's time to come down from the tree of knowledge. I learned all I need. I'm more balanced now and ready to take action. And this is in your how you're feeling now, your emotional foundation at this time, and proceeding. And this is also talking about home life, that type of energy. We have Justice. So Justice is coming in for some reason. Now, it could be regarding this, or it could be something else. Sometimes Justice just can be that you get to go on a new journey. If you were getting feeling like you need some new in your life kind of energy. And a lot of people are feeling that right now. So this Justice card is talking about justice coming in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And she's also sitting in between these two pillars of truth. And she has her sword. She has it in her right hand. She's ready to wield it at any moment's notice, as soon as she gets the go-ahead. Her right foot is forward, talking about taking action. And so this can talk also about redemption of karma. Now, a lot of people feel that karma is punishment, but karma is really cause and effect for your actions or your inactions. So if you, have direct karma, it's when you do something or don't do something when you could have, to stop someone else's suffering or indifference for your own benefit, and it causes you karma. If you have karma that is from associations with other people, that's indirect karma. So that can be your ancestors, and even sometimes your descendants' actions or inactions. Again, maybe your ancestors were not able to clean things up before they crossed the veil, and so that gets passed down to the bloodline. And so it can, what people refer to as generational curses, something that keeps getting passed down the bloodline that isn't beneficial to anyone, usually learned behavior, that type of energy. And so this can be karma that you receive from that, and also from people you associate with, like in business or friends, family, that type of energy. And then we have the karmic spaces, which every human being is totally capable of falling into, and it's common to do so. All right, and then this is about your creativity right now, romance. So I do feel it might have something to do with this situation of disappointment here. This can also be your children, like if there's some issues around your children or something, it could have something to do with that. It would be depending on your age, of course, as well. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is one of 4 knights, and the knights, of course, would deliver information far and wide, like for the king and the queen and the rest of the court, and they would travel long distances, and that was their only form of long-distance communication in many cases. So sometimes it would take a very long time for the information to come in, but the slowest of them all is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it can be really frustrating waiting for the Knight of Pentacles to come back. Like, his horse is literally at a standstill at this time. And, you know, you don't want to be in a position where you have to have a board meeting with yourself every time that you make even the smallest decision. So it's kind of like, get moving. I need this information. I need this communication. So this is about Pentacles. And Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. And it's in the form of a coin because, of course, money is a very big part of being happy in the 3D these days. But you could still have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle you want if you don't have your health, or, you know, you don't have the love of your life. So this is talking, I feel like that maybe this energy is what's missing, and you're wanting to maybe have a little more passion in your life. And that could represent even for what you love to do, or maybe you want to change careers, or you want to take it in a slightly different direction. In any case, this is the Knight of Pentacles is usually delivering some sort of communication or information about how the best way to go about doing that. And usually he is slow, but when he does come in, he's done his research. It's talking about making sure you do your research and that you look into things properly before investing. And also the information in the old days would come in, you know, in person, but these days with all the different forms of communication, it could just as easily be a phone call, a text message. Maybe you get something in the post, like an invitation to go somewhere. Maybe someone sends you flowers, that type of energy. It could be an email coming through. You could get a message on social media. Maybe there's an event posted there and you decide, I'm going to attend that event. And then when you get there, you meet someone with the perfect information that you need. And, you know, or you meet someone that you have a lot of passion for, that type of energy. Maybe someone that's both, someone who's interested in, you know, the pentacle energy, partnerships, etc., and also in you as maybe a possible lover. And then we have, from the underlying energy of the deck, the external forces. So for the external forces, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords energy this is the element of air, and swords represent mental intelligence and discipline of your mind, your thoughts, basically. So your thoughts are, you know, expressed verbally, through words, or maybe written word, and it can be through art and that type of energy. But this is talking about your thoughts, basically. And the Page of Swords is like a younger version of the Knights. They would work at a much younger age, around 7 to 14. So generally, when the Knights come in, they're 21 or older, and if the Page is coming in, the information is coming more from like that age group, under 20, like 20 and under. And they would, in those days, you have to remember that the lifespan was so much shorter, so it wouldn't be uncommon for children to be working as young as 7 to 14 years of age. So that might be significant to you. It could represent someone that you knew like from that time frame, you know, when you started kindergarten, basically in elementary school, someone from elementary school, that type of energy. Or even from high school. Maybe you bump into them again and you're like, whoa, I haven't seen you in like 25 years, you know, that type of energy. So this is the Page of Swords. He's the only one of the pages that isn't looking at his sword, at his element. He knows that these swords are double-edged. There's a logic, and you also have to use your intuition. And so he has already got the logical question, and he's looking for a creative solution to whatever the problem is. So he's looking away from his logic and looking towards his intuition to see if he can come up with an original creative solution. And this quite often can just represent having a real original thought, something that's really provocative or whatever, innovative. And also this can represent, a breath of fresh air, someone that has a totally different way of looking at things. And it's, whoa, that's exactly the energy that I needed to hear. And so this is in the external forces coming towards you. So someone who's intellectual and maybe very innovative. And then we have for the that's the underlying energy for the external forces. You'll know the external forces for what they are, that they're outside of you, because you with the internal forces, you're asking, what if they do this and I do that? What if what if I don't do this? What if they do that? That type of energy. The woulda, shoulda, couldas that could keep you up all night in a thinking loop. And those are internal forces. You do have control over those if you discipline your mind to just be quiet already, so that you can be like in this energy where you use your intuition and your logic for a creative solution to the problem. The external forces, you don't have as much control over external forces. I mean, you have a little bit, but you can't control how another person is going to act or feel, what they're going to say or do. You do have control over if you are going to react to it or you're going to respond to it. So that's the energy of the external forces coming in. We have, okay, look at this. Now this could be talking about the healing of this energy here. So because there's this ace with this passion for new discovery, and the universe is saying, hey, take another cup of love here, and you're on a new cycle. This could talk about you've healed your heart. You've healed your heart, and you're now ready to move forward in a new passionate relationship with a lover. And so this is really talking about, it sometimes takes a lot of time to heal. Like some people could sit here for years, if it just depends on what happened and who you are and how you feel about it all. So sometimes this card can talk about a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. We have the Three Swords, and it looks like, oh, someone could never recover from three swords in their heart. But when you look more closely, you realize that the heart is actually large in context to the size of the swords. So they're more like nails. So maybe you could, recover from nails. That's the type of energy. Also, the heart is in the throat. So this can sometimes be representing the energy of, not feeling free to speak your truth or feeling afraid to. And the sword in between the two, the couple here, can quite often represent an energy of a third-party energy, as we discussed here. So I feel this is talking about that you've healed this energy and you're ready to move on. And this is in your partnerships, commitments, and spousal energy. There we go. So, that's when you decide, okay, for sure, we're like, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to get a divorce or whatever, become single again and move forward. Or I'm going to end this business and I'm going to move on with a different partner in another business at some point, that type of energy. And then we have, the Ten of Wands is talking about a heavy load. And this is going in the position of transition. And so this is the kind of transition that the new moon energy doesn't like. Like the Taurus energy is like, no, I don't want to have to sell my home. I don't want to have to divide assets. I don't want to have to make these changes. But this is talking about, the wands do represent planting seeds, and then those growing into these, your actions growing into something that bears fruit. So this can be talking that this is heavy with the fruits of your labor. But this person, if you've ever heard the saying, can't see the forest due to or can't see the trees can't see the forest due to the trees. So the trees, that's talking about when you get so caught up in the details that you can't see the big picture anymore and the original reason why you were doing what you're doing. This person can't see, he's so close to home here. Like, but he's about to like drop from exhaustion. And if he knew he was this close, he would just keep going. So this is saying keep going. Don't quit now. You're like so close to your goal. A lot of people quit because it seems like as you get very close to your goal, it gets harder to somehow stay there. So sometimes these wands can represent the burdens of others that you've been carrying. And I feel like that's what this decision is representing. Perhaps you've been holding on to this old relationship and thinking maybe it's possible to fix it or whatever, but now you've come to the decision, okay, I'm going to end this and move forward. And so just take those wands, however many of these wands are the burdens from that energy that don't belong to you, and put them down on the ground right there. You could phone the person up and say, hey, I'm not carrying your burdens anymore. I put them down in the field. You need to go pick them up. Don't expect them to be all excited and thrilled. People who like you to carry their burdens don't like it when you drop them. But like, it's really important that you do that now, because this is exhausting you and you don't want to end up quitting because you're too tired to keep going, because you're carrying other people's burdens. And then we have this energy of the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is would represent, this could be a divorce lawyer, considering this situation here. This energy is talking about a professional that earns their living using their intellect and their words and their, so this can represent speakers. This could represent, social media influencers, politicians. If it's a politician, like we're talking about a king energy here. So this is someone that's mastered their skill set, and they're, so if it's a politician, it would be, the king, the president, the prime minister, someone very high up in the Congress, the Senate, a minister of, of the federal government, that type of energy. This can represent lawyers and judges and that, the legal system. If this is a lawyer, it would be someone that is a partner in a well-established firm. And quite often this can represent divorce lawyer. This could be judges, head prosecutor, that type of energy, lawmakers in general. We could also be talking about a surgeon, or maybe a dentist, a veterinarian. Let's see, what else could this be? A best-selling author, that type of energy. So, you get the picture, someone that's using that energy. They understand how to use words. So the words energy, the king is very much aware that words have a lot of power, and they can either uplift people or they can be used as weapons. And also that actions do speak louder than words. So if you give your word and then you don't follow it up with action, then your word becomes meaningless. And then we have Pentacles. Okay, the Two of Pentacles. So this is talking about someone who's very busy multitasking. Sometimes that multitasking can get to the point where, like it gains so much momentum. That's being represented here. The smaller ship on the smaller wave becoming bigger and bigger. So sometimes we just end up being busy, keeping ourselves busy, and then the quality of our work suffers because, it's like having to do things twice because you didn't do it. You had so much to do that you rushed through it, and then you end up having to do it a second time. And so this is talking about that loop. And so this can represent, two extremes here that you're juggling. Like it could be juggling your home life and your business life, your work hard, play hard, the energy of maybe you're working two jobs to make ends meet. Maybe you are going to school and also going to work to pay for your schooling, that type of energy. This is also talking about juggling. If you're going to juggle your options, but never your morals. So this sometimes represents someone that was juggling their morals, which clearly with this energy here, that's what this is talking about. So someone was juggling their morals and it ended this relationship, and now, this is the kind of the fallback from it. And Let's see, so that would be in the position of your career and reputation. So that might have had like an effect on that end of your life as well as your personal. So business and personal, that type of energy. And then we have, yes, it's affected your blessings. So this is talking about having a strong foundation. This card is actually talking about the 3 levels of money. So this is talking about having a strong foundation when it comes to money, but it's just enough, basically. This is safe money. You know, you have enough to pay your bills, etc., but you don't have a whole lot left over for your heart's desires or your crowning glory. And so this card is basically saying sometimes, you know, he has his back to the city, and that's that Taurus energy again saying, no, I don't want to have to sell the house. I don't want to have to move. Sometimes you have to leave your comfort zone to be able to move forward in life. And it would be rare that you would be a hero in your hometown. So if you're, you know, in the same place where you were when you were raised, this can, and around the same people, they might see you the same, you know, and not give you the same chances that people who just met you would. And they might see you as you were in grade 6, you know, and that's heavily imprinted on them, and that's that. You haven't changed a bit. So this energy is leaving your comfort zone, and sometimes this can be, maybe in the past you played small because of this energy coming in from the Taurus energy. You know, Capricorn energy is usually a lot more, they can see the possibilities and challenges. And Capricorn energy, the glyph is the sea goat. So, you know, you imagine a goat with, you know, that's climbing a mountain with a dolphin tail on the end. That energy, you know, if the thing is about Capricorns, if they fall down the mountain, they'll just get back up again and be very disciplined and climb the mountain again. The Capricorn energy is the most mature of all the signs of the earth signs, and you know, matter matters. Physical matter matters to other, like even in the picture here, the family shopping. This is the lifestyle matters to the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are ruled by that energy, so they're going to be that way. But usually Capricorn energy, as Capricorn energy matures, it's more like having that discipline, you know, to climb, not necessarily the escalator to do more shopping, which is represented, but maybe you want to climb a mountain, that type of energy. So we have, then we have in this last position, which is secrets coming out, more on a spiritual level, hidden illusions coming out, so that you can really see the truth and move forward in the strongest way possible. Now, the Wounded Warrior has managed. This is definitely like, this is, the wands represent the element of fire, and this is more the element of fire, but that Capricorn energy has a strong drive, very disciplined, consistent steps of action. And like I said, if they slip down that mountain, they'll just get back up and they'll take the next step. They're very disciplined that way. So this kind of represents that same energy. What you have sown, you've managed to land 8 of those wands, and under hard circumstances. Like you had to really put your energy into it, and you're tired. That's this energy of feeling a little bit drained. And so that's why it's important to put these burdens down, because how are you going to even enjoy your success if you're still carrying all that? You know, it's tiring you out, and a lot of it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the person who was in this relationship with you, that decided to step out or decided to break the rules or whatever. So that's basically the bottom line for this reading. And we have, here we have, you know, basically the story that, like, Capricorn energy is, actually this is really good energy for you, because you can adapt quite easily. And once you make up your mind, you're determined, like you're going to climb that mountain one way or that escalator one way or the other. And so if you are leaving the reading here, please do give it a like and comment. It really empowers me to build my channel. I really appreciate it. Also consider subscribing. You're more than welcome. I would be honored if you did so. Now, for those of you that would prefer to have more clarity here, let's go here. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started this back in 2007. In 2020, I completed the energy, or the 64th painting, and I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and in the website there is sorry, I started reading the cards. I'm getting used to doing it this way, and I started, oh my goodness, look what's happening here. So no, I'll finish my statement here. The cards I will put in the description box. These numbers represent the cards as they are in my gallery, and I will bring those put that in the description box. If you want to take a look, it may give you further clarity as to your situation. And be able to, they say a painting paints 1,000 words. So yeah, I just got sidetracked a little bit looking at this. This is really interesting energy. So we have, you're being rewarded for being on your destined path of devotion. And when you enter into this new cycle, right away there's some sort of temptation that comes in. Now, is that lover? So this is talking about, or this can be cleaning up the temptation, like it can be talking about this journey of letting this go. And then once you let this go and your heart heals and you put down these burdens and you make that, because this can be about a heartbreaking decision. So this can be talking about the tower hits here. So this is giving us the background. So you've been on your path and you're going along, and you end up on this new journey here because of the someone or something was tempted. Now that makes sense, because then we have the lovers here. This causes like the temptation is that's what the devil represents. And interestingly, like the devil is ruled by the planet Saturn, as well as Capricorn energy. And so, and because Capricorn energy is the most material orientated, because they're the most mature, they're supposed to be that way. It's about, the Capricorn energy is about being able to take thoughts that are like in the air and bring that down and make it into something physical to better the world and better their world and their families, etc. So this is about getting some sort of temptation happening. Now, when the devil energy comes in, I always cover it with the next card up, because I want to know, you know, the devil doesn't do his own dirty work. There's always a minion. And so I want to know who that is or what it's about, and you know, does God cover it? And we have the moon energy coming in, Cancer here. So this is talking about being engaged in the energy instead of being dragged down by it and entrenched. And so I do feel that this is talking about this third-party involvement and healing from it. And you're on a new journey, but the new journey is not, like, where is there the world card? Did we have a world card here? I'm trying to remember here. No. So yeah, so this is talking about the journey of what you've gone through because of this energy at the beginning, the lovers and the tower hitting. This is when you find out. And then when you put these burdens down and you make that decision to move forward and you're not juggling this energy anymore, you might be making a decision to actually physically move or move on, for sure, that type of energy, and to get out of this energy. So basically that's what's talking. So this energy coming in is representing being able to be really intuitive, and we have that here. Oh, here's the world card here. That's why I'm seeing it here. Okay, so this makes sense now. So I do feel that there is a lot of moon energy in May, because we have 3 moons instead of 2 like significant ones. We have 2 full moons, which doesn't happen that often in 1 month. And this is called, you know, the blue moon. Once in a blue moon, this happens. And so there probably is, your intuition is probably really high this month. Pay attention to it. If your intuition is telling you, pay attention to something, there's something going on here, there probably is. And then we have the tower. So this is coming, and it says divorce. The worst divorce is from source. So I feel like this is basically saying that once you heal from this, you'll have another chance for love that's more beneficial for you. In the meantime, you need to heal your heart. You need to make the choices, the decisions that you need to make, whether this be about romantic, or it may mean about business partners, or changing your location, or changing your career, whatever that is. And we have the Chariot here. So this disappointment, this sitting here energy, it's moving now. So it's already on the spiritual realm. I feel like you've been doing, like you've been sitting here a while and you're starting to make up your mind. Okay, I know I have to move forward. And then that's when the World card comes in, and it's sitting on your intuition again. So when you're sitting in between two extremes like that, you need to get neutral to the information. Information is, doesn't care whether you like it or not. Information is information. But what you do with information, now that can matter. So the world, it's talking about getting to that neutrality about the situation, that you start being able to make strong decisions about your future, about which direction you're taking, instead of foolish ones. And so this will be allowing you to, like the foolish, when the Fool goes on a journey, they're at the 0 point, and they can either be foolhardy or foolish. They could go off the path and head off in this energy, like with this devil energy. Now, where did the devil go now? I can't even remember. Where did the devil go? We had that energy in here somewhere, I thought. Maybe not. I don't know what was going on. Oh, here. It's under here. Like, why? Yeah, I'm just getting so much information coming in so fast here. So this is talking about, definitely, this temptation energy needs to be cleaned up. Whoever, this is talking about when the Fool goes on the journey, they can go on a foolhardy journey, which is on their path that they were destined for. Or they can be... with this Moon energy here, they can be drawn in by illusions and secrets in that, and really not make strong choices because they have an expectation that that's going to be a better way to go. And expectations will always create limitations. So this is talking about being on a foolish journey instead of a foolhardy journey on your path. You need to listen to your intuition, and it's saying it twice here again. It's saying you have to be patient and stay on your destined path. This may seem like a shortcut, but it's full of illusions, and it's not everlasting, and the tower will hit. And that's what happened. Someone thought the grass was greener on the other side, and now they found out it's fake. And to be able to sort through all this, you need to be able to heal and get to the truth. The truth will set you free. You need to use your third eye and your crown chakra to get back on your path, whether that, however that energy played out for you. And this is sitting on your daily routine and habits. And this is the guiding star, is when you decide, okay, I have to get back on my destined path here, no matter what. I'm not entertaining this old energy anymore. I want to move forward. So this is talking about when you make that decision, then this is the heartbreaking decision needs to be made. So what's happening in between there? We have the Hermit here. So the Hermit is talking about having safe travels, because the Hermit knows that after, okay, I see where, what I need to do to get on a path to have this promise come in for this new passion in life, and being on with this new lover, and not being in this position where I'm disappointed. If it's not a lover, with a new partner, a new commitment, that type of energy. So the Hermit actually climbs the mountain, isolates himself, and then when the lantern is full of the light of the North Star, that's when they take action. And that's like a breath of fresh air, because they come down from the mountain and they know, okay, it's good, it's time to go. It's time to take action. And so this is talking about when you come to that moment, and look at, it's healing this energy from the lover's situation. So that confirms it. Whatever this third party energy was, it was very disappointing for you. And so, it's always way better to heal from a relationship that's significant before you even begin to entertain bringing someone new into your situation, you want to let go of what's no longer working for you. And we have Gemini clarifying that energy. You know, and we had that page energy also, you know, I said from 7 to 14. So this is talking about like when you enter kindergarten, how you're, you know, that's when you realize, oh, not everybody's like our family. Especially if you've got a really different family. So this is about communication. And I do really feel that this is when you make the decision, I'm putting these burdens down, I'm done. Like I need to let them look after their own shift, and I need to move forward in my life. And I feel that this card is also talking about the Gemini energy. We had the sign of, or sorry, the planet of Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini, and it just a while back here, and it's really creating a lot of energy of the truth coming out. Again, if you want to know more about that, look at at the beginning of the month of May and the end of April. The energy was really intense with all this Uranus energy moving into the sign of Gemini, but it's going to be there for another 7 to 8 years, so till 2033 basically. And we're talking like the last time that Uranus was in Gemini was from 1941 to 1949. That type of energy. And so bottom line with the Uranus moving into Gemini is the truth comes out, and we're seeing that at the top of the pyramid in the news all the time. The truth is coming out about this and that, and it's like, whoa, the truth can be like, some days you just like, oh, do I even want to look today? There's always something, and it's like, whoa, no way, that too. And it's sort of like, that's the kind of energy that we're in. And so that is also trickling down into individuals' life. I also want to say, when I have horoscope signs coming in my readings, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the state of being of the signs. What can we learn from them? And you know, because we can learn from every sign, and then we don't have to learn things the hard way. But I feel like, don't expect that when you put those burdens down, that whoever you put them down from is going to be like, woohoo, yay, I'm so glad you put my burdens down. I think they preferred when you were carrying them. So just be aware, it could be a bit of a kind of conflict energy, you know. And then we have Superstar. So this is talking about being careful to use your words. If you want harmony, then watch how you don't wait to have a conversation with someone. If you feel like you're going to, like, you don't want to be impulsive and then post all over social media and be all angry and everything, and then feel like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, you know, the next day. So what you want to do is really wait till you're calm, and then use your words. And we also have disruption. So disruption is talking about, you know, what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. And yes, especially if you have a third-party energy within a couple. I'm sure that the other two probably were happier looking than this, you know, that type of energy, especially if there's a baby involved. Yay. So that's the type of energy. So yeah, disruption, there's a lot of disruption in the energy, but that's true of, even that's what this moon is about. Like, Scorpio energy is disruptive, because Scorpio energy likes to take things apart and put them back together in a different way. And so that energy what's fun for some people is not fun for everyone. So just be aware of that. Not everybody's going to be happy about the decisions you're making, basically. And then we have the Empress energy. So the Empress is talking about being a generator of manifestation, someone considered pregnant with possibility. And this is coming in from those external forces again. So recognize, like, I just feel like this could represent you. Really, if you really want to manifest what you want to manifest, you might consider like making an actual physical move, or making the moves that you know, to move into what's authentically in your heart, what your heart wants to do. and get on that destined path. When you're on that destined path, the work doesn't feel like work anymore. It feels more like, play in a lot of, I mean, it is still work, but you enjoy doing it. So it's not like you're watching the clock, waiting to see when 5 o'clock hits, you know. And then we have wishing upon a star. So again, this is saying that, this is Capricorn energy, and that, like, Capricorn energy, this is the tip, might say, okay, shooting star goes by, they wish upon it, they make their wish, and some people will just sit there when that happens and wait for it to fall in their lap, and then they're disappointed because it doesn't. Capricorn energy gets up right away and starts, planting the seeds for these wands, and then they make sure that they follow through so that it happens. And that's the energy. I'm like having a real strong attitude to get her done. Canadians have a saying, get her done, eh? So it's that type of energy. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading, Capricorn. Give it a like and comment if you have. It would really help me build my channel. I really appreciate it. Also consider subscribing. You're more than welcome, and I would be honored. My cat thinks I'm playing Get Down. All right, I just woke her up. She's not too happy about that. All right, I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Capricorn.